You never know who your enemies are. Sometimes your ops could be within your own family. So this woman sends me a story time. She says, I have a funny story about a pick me family member. She was openly critical of me divorcing my husband, and despite several relatives telling her how poorly he behaved towards me, she still maintained that I shouldn't leave him because he wouldn't be in our child's life if I did, and there's no way he'll pay child support. She is one of those people who didn't believe that men could do any wrong unless they were physically assaulting you. I started dating again, and she was angry that the man I was dating wasn't black, despite the fact that she had multiple marriages with black men and none of them had worked out. She still insists that women need to be with black men. The same standard naturally does not hold for black men. And in my family in particular, they are praised for dating non black women. Eventually, we were chatting, and she asked me about my boyfriend. I told her that I thought he was going to be proposing soon. She laughed, told me I couldn't get married anyway because I was already married. I told her that I was not, in fact, married, and my divorce had been finalized some time ago. She started sputtering and asked me where I was living. I left and said in the house that I bought and been paying the mortgage on since my ex and I, moved in. She was shocked that I got the house in the divorce, full custody, child support, and zero debt. This was the strangest thing to me, that she seemed so eager to get off the phone with me. She seemed upset by the news that nothing went wrong in my divorce. She tried to find fault with my husband and grilled me extensively about him. Finding none, she dismissed him as being a temporary relationship because, after all, who could possibly want to be with me, a woman who's been divorced multiple times, two children, overweight, nasty attitude, not a Christian, doesn't submit, never followed her advice on how to keep a man. Eventually, I sent out wedding invitations and called her up to confirm that she would be attending. Not sure why she would want this woman to attend, but okay. First, she claimed that she couldn't drive and that I needed to invite her driver so that she could be there. I sent out the invites. Her driver confirms that she would be attending, and we had the wedding. Her and her daughter were no shows, despite the fact that this is a close family member. She nonetheless did not even see fit to apologize or congratulate me on the day of my wedding, nor did she explain her absence to me or speak to me for well over a year. I was recently texted by her, Merry Christmas from the Bahamas, and it hit me. She was angry that I wasn't suffering. She was angry that my life had been going well. For all her claims that she wanted the best for me, the reality is she most certainly did not want me to do better than her. She had always been a competitive person, something that I am not. And while we used to talk on a weekly basis, when my life started improving significantly, she stopped wanting to talk to me, stopped calling me. And when I would call her, she would find reasons to get off the phone almost immediately upon questioning me about my relationship status. It's strange to me that someone can claim to want the best for you, but be genuinely angry when you get it. She had asked me questions about my now husband and wanted to know if he knew and accepted my past, previous marriages, two children. And when I said that was not an issue and that my children did not have issues with him either, she didn't seem happy. I guess she was expecting drama. Anyways, I realized that it took her going on vacation in the Caribbean to feel good enough about herself that she would be able to speak to me because she literally hadn't spoken to me in over a year. And after her no show at the wedding with no explanation, I decided enough was enough and that I was done reaching out to her as clearly my feelings were not mutual. So I had sent her a message like, man, that is wild. It is crazy that your family member would want the worst for you or, act like that. And so then she responded with, it was insane that she was way more supportive when I was with the openly derogatory bum than with my mentally, physically, and financially stable husband. She thought I was having a little hole in the wall ceremony and briefly quizzed me as to the location and setup. She was very dismissive and sneering. When I sent her the link, she clammed up and rushed to get off the phone. She has also had issues with other only female members of the family who have managed to remain in stable relationships that don't have the mule dynamic. It's like, ma'am, your issue is literally that our husbands haven't enslaved us and we don't deserve to be married. I could see her point if she was happily married. I mean, a happily married mule, but the reality is she's single because she keeps chasing elderly bedbugs who need a nurse and a purse while she's equipped with neither. She's flat broke, but insists on flexing with money she doesn't have, buys expensive accessories and returns them after a few weeks to give the impression that she can afford a life of leisure, which only serves to attract more pests. She's the kind of woman that goes to church every Sunday, but is also having an affair with a married pastor, which isn't her problem because she ain't the one who married him. I'm sorry, but she ain't the one who's married. Her last relationship ended rather bad. Apparently, the bedbug had been with his ex for 19 years. They had children and grandchildren together. He left his girlfriend abruptly to be with her. She chuckled about the circumstances of the breakup, and I told her that if he's capable of doing that to a woman he's been claiming to love for 19 years, he's capable of doing worse to you. But they weren't married, so that's her problem. He expected her to be, after 3 or 4 months of dating, to sell her house to pay for his new business idea, which she refused to do. He immediately ran back to his ex-partner of 19 years. For her, this is proof of him being a bum, but should not apparently reflect poorly on her morals or taste in men. Some women really do uphold the patriarchy. Some women really do believe in that being submissive, or, you have to be out here muling in order to be a good wife, a good woman. That is one of the main reasons why, as we decenter men, we have to let go of some of these male identified women. This woman in the story, the one that's telling the story, had a relative that was only happy when she was muling or when she was in a bad situation. But come to find out, she's in a happy, healthy relationship right now. And her cousin, I mean, I don't know if it's her cousin, her family member can't even be happy for her. She expected she expected the storyteller to be out here muling because that is what she's used to doing. That's what she's used to women doing. That's the reason why the saying, pour it into the people who have poured into you, is across the board. It goes for family members. It goes for romantic relationships. It goes for organizations that you're a part of. You do not give more to people that wouldn't give to you. If somebody isn't showing up for your big day, if somebody can't say congratulations, if someone can't be a cheerleader for you, then recognize that if there's no reciprocity, we're going to continue to talk about that. If there is no reciprocity, then those people are not for you. Cut them out. I know it's challenging, but we're going forward. We are not keeping people around that are not really down for us. So that person, this person, whoever the OP is talking about, whoever the storyteller is talking about, she can be this good one. She could be one of these good ones. That's not going to be for all of us. The rest of us are not trying to break our backs forever. Breaking our backs forever is not the sign that you are a virtuous woman. We ain't doing that no more. Y'all, go ahead, weigh in. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share.